Okay. What I'm doing now is a Dutch bloom. Haven't done one of these in quite a while. And since I finished my painting vacation, I've gone from there to several weekends of either, finishing, varnishing and resining and all kinds of stuff with a lot of the things I had been working on. And then I had some, vendor events, and basically I just haven't painted since the painting vacation was done. Which has only been about, actually it's close to a month. So I haven't done a big painting since the last one I did on the last day of my painting vacation. So, and I'm just feeling a little off in general today. However, I need to get more pieces done. And today's the day I can do it. So here I am. I'm really, really hoping that this works out well. What I'm planning to do is a Dutch bloom. Haven't done one of those in a while either. I'm hoping I don't struggle. Let's see. I have this color palette. So what I was going for was a warm gray, which I don't have. And then I looked up Amsterdam warm gray, and basically the pigments in it are the same as Van Dyke brown and with white. So I don't know. I don't remember the exact, ratio of Van Dyke brown to white. Obviously more white than Van Dyke brown. But I mixed this a couple weeks ago. I mixed this actually maybe right after the painting vacation, thinking I was going to keep painting right away, and then just things came up. So this is my base color. And then I have, rather than using Van Dyke brown as a color in this, I'm using a pigment. I just want to see what I can achieve with a pigment. So this is called S'Mores. It's a TLP pigment. Obviously, it's very close to Van Dyke brown. It's a nice brown. And then I have this color, which I just sort of mixed up. I was going for like a Venetian rose. I guess it's just a little yellower. So it's more tonally matched to the base and the brown. And then I'm going to use some gold. And that's a really simple palette for this. So let's get the base down and let's start there. So I'm just going to, basically, I have this on a spinner because with Dutch blooms, oftentimes spinning it out is something you end up wanting to do after you've blown out your petals. So I have the canvas up here on the spinner. I just have little tacks underneath so that when I have to move it to dry, it doesn't have to sit flat against a table. Just because when you do that, you end up with like dried little paint, ridges at the end, at the bottom. So I'm just going to give my base a little spin here. It needs to be evened out a little bit more. So give it a little tilt. Maybe I'll just give it a little blow as well.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is
I'm hoping that that I like this. I mean, I like these colors. I just hope I like it as a Dutch bloom. I wanted sort of a simple Dutch bloom and something that wasn't, your typical standard, blues or greens. And I have all this Van Dyke Brown paint around my studio, and I love Van Dyke Brown. And so I've just been trying to really look at ways to use it in ways that I like. So, because I like the color. So, anyway. Okay. I keep taking my hair dryer into the canvas. I told you I was a little off today. Probably this wasn't the best painting to try to do on a day that I was feeling a little off. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So, that's good. That is good. This guy. Okay. Just put that there where it's not going to fall over. All right. So, I'm trying to decide how I want to layer this. I'm thinking in my head pink, then the TLP pigment, and then I always want to put the gold at the top. But I'm wondering if I should put the brown at the bottom, and maybe that'll create like the edges of the leaf. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do the pigment, and then the pink, and then the gold on top of that. Okay. Now, to try to get right in the middle, that's not right in the middle. It's not right in the middle. Okay. It's really kind of not spreading in a circle. So that's going to be interesting. Ooh. That base is really eating everything, isn't it? Well, that might be the answer to what is going to happen with a pigment. Well, maybe I should have layered a little actual Van Dyke Brown in there with everything. Because, yeah, the base kind of blew over the pigment, and it's the pigments are sinking in there. I mean, it's really pretty. I mean, some really pretty things are happening. I just don't quite know. I'm thinking I want to spin and just see what happens. This could just become very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me give a torch to the petals. It does look like it's starting to fill in a little bit everywhere. It does look like it's starting to fill in. So, well, I don't have enough base to start over. So, I think I'm going to spin it. See what happens. And if it doesn't work, I'll have to mix more base and I'll use Van Dyke Brown in it along with the pigment. Because yeah, the pigment is getting eaten. But oh gosh, some of these cells are just amazing. And I did get a decent shaped flower too. Oh boy. All right, let's give it a little spin and see how it, I want it to move more that way because that's sort of the uneven petal that I'm, uneven puddles that I made there. So I think I'm just going to slide my canvas a little bit over the edge. And I'm not going to spin it too hard. Oh, it's actually really kind of wild. It's pretty cool. Actually, I think I'm going to go back and even it out a little more. I don't quite know what kind of effect we're going to get here with these like leaves that are sort of empty in the middle. But wow. I mean, it's interesting. It is really very sort of interesting. Oh my. I don't like the way this leaf is shaping up over here. And maybe I should just use a little, like encourage it to become more round again. Maybe I'll just. There we go. I don't want to spin it anymore. Hopefully I don't have too much paint on there. But yeah, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to see what these very interesting, almost empty petals end up looking like when they're dry. I also think I might want to drag in a little. Oh, but that is something I'm not very good at. But you know what? I don't know if this is going to be a keeper anyway. So no better time to practice than right now, I say. I think I'm just going to do it with my finger. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Ugh, that's terrible. I dragged too hard. But there's a lot of paint here, so it is going to spread back out, and I think we might be okay. You know, that's just what's happening. Maybe I'll get fortunate. Oh, there's great cells here. There's like no petal here anymore. Like this one really has none. Maybe I'll end up touching it up when it's dry. I don't know. Something tells me I'm going to end up painting over it and mixing up some more base and using some actual Van Dyke brown. So hard for me I just don't have a very steady hand. So I drag my finger in there and it touches the canvas. Like there's just no two ways about it. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit on my finger first. Touching the canvas again. Well, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we are going to go in for some wet results. So it's very intriguing. And obviously I have answered the question of like what would happen with pigments. Certainly probably not a good idea to start pigments on the bottom. But as you can see, the pigments will create amazing cells just in general. So here's where we're going to go with this. This is going to sit to dry. Sorry, I should put you back on the tripod so it's not shaky. This is going to sit to dry. Yeah, let me put you back on so it's not shaky. Okay, guys, this is pretty close to dry. It's certainly dry enough for me to tip it up. I wouldn't touch it. But I think I can tip it up and show it to you. Of course, my arms are not long enough to hold it and record it. But I like how it came out. I really do. I think that it's interesting. I still wish these petals were more filled in. They certainly seem like more paint came to life after, as it sat. But it's kind of cool. So I think that I'm going to keep this, and I might maybe frame it to give it a little bit more, I don't know. I don't know if it needs anything else. I find it to be interesting the way the leaves are not like full. Certainly not what I had tried to do. And I will probably try this again if I use a pigment, it will be combined with a paint so as not to have it get eaten up by the base. But I don't know. There's something about it. There's something about it I like. Thanks for being here. Come back and paint with me again.
When we wake, hear hear the birds and see the sun.